YouTube, what it do, man? Today we back for another video. Today's video, we're gonna be reacting to this Candace Owens clip. This is a clip from her on the Whatever podcast speaking to OnlyFans women. Now listen, I do believe that some of her opinions and views are valid. Yeah, let's get into what she's saying to this OnlyFans girl. I'm really candid to see what she says.
OnlyFans, sex work, and do you believe that a woman doing OnlyFans or porn might have an impact on her future romantic prospect?
Absolutely. A woman doing porn or OnlyFans or you showing, listen, even if the digital footmark goes away, that'll still be in your soul. You'll never be able to get that out of your soul. Ever. You'll never be able to get that out of your soul. So that's why it's bad to do that type of work.
And if so, how and why? I can repeat it. That was a lot, so let me know if you...
It may seem rewarding in the physical, but in the spiritual, you are now in debt. You have to get out of that debt before it is time to transition.
You're fine. I talk about this extensively on my show. I mean, the truth is that if you are going to engage in sex work, you are going to probably make a lot of money, especially if you're young. You're on a very...
And if you look good. If you're young and you look good, let's not forget that. And it also depends on what you consider a lot of money. What do you consider a lot of money? Is $10,000 a month and you're showing yourself naked on the internet? You have to show yourself naked, right? Because that's what a job is. You have to do it to get money. You're making this money, but now you have to do it to get money. So if you're making $10,000 a month, getting naked on the internet, is that a lot of money? To me, that's not a lot of money. If I had to show myself naked on here, I'd need more than 10,000. I would. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not act like, you know what I'm saying, I'm anti, you know what I'm saying? But listen, 10,000 a month, that's not a lot of money to be showing yourself naked on the internet. Anyways, let's go. Let's continue.
Tightrope. As you get older, your value goes down, and men are going to want women that are younger and available to them. I'm talking about in terms of just making the person who will subscribe to your OnlyFans page. You know, obviously, women, you're declining as you age, And the truth is that high-value men don't want to date women that are sex workers or even women that aren't sex workers and lean into the...
I think Candace needs a black nigga, bro. She needs a black man, bro. I can tell that, like, the nigga who beating her shit in or she having sex with, I can tell it's not, you know what I'm saying? But she needs a black nigga, bro.
Talking about how sexy and are freely available on the internet for other men to see. What we're talking about is biological proclivity. What men are doing when they first say, this sounds amazing, to date a stripper or to date a prostitute or to date a sex worker, is there's this instinct to have sex. It's gonna be amazing, I'm gonna have sex all the time. But then when they realize that actually a form of wanting to be in a relationship is feeling that there's a mystery to a woman, that there's something that's yours, there's something that's sacred, there's something that's powerful and beautiful that just you share. And when they realize that they have to share that with other men, it completely diminishes the man. A recent cultural example of that, obviously, is what's happening.
You weak fuck. If you allow your girlfriend, let me tell you something. Let me tell you niggas something, bro. If you would allow your girlfriend to be naked on the internet, to be naked in front of other men, you're what's wrong with society. You're what's wrong with society. Like, how you gonna sit here and call yourself a man and your woman is getting naked for other men? Like, bro, what?
Nina Agdal, she's not a sex worker by any means. She just kind of said some sexy things on the internet about wanting cock, and look at what...
Was not expecting that from Candace.
I'm quoting her directly, so this is purely academic. Purely academic. And look at what happened. You know, now Logan has become the laughing stock of other men as they piece together everything that she's ever said that's overtly sexual. And again, she's not a sex worker, but what happened is her value just completely plummeted because, you know, this thing that men need to feel. And I don't want to say possession in a way that sounds bad, because it's not bad. It's actually really beautiful. And I'm lucky and fortunate that I get to experience that in my marriage, you know, and it's something that women should strive toward. women that make those exchanges in their youth, I think that's sad, and I do feel bad for Nina Agdal, is because she said a lot of those statements when she was really young. She's probably your age. And she had a camera and she said it, and it lives forever. And now every man that she dates is going to say Dylan Danis has made her available to everyone. And I hope things work out between her and Logan, but if you don't think that that's going to impact Logan, or that's not actively impacting him as a man, it is. So with women, it's a trade-off. First thing you said was, I make money, this is about money. It's about money, but when it comes down to marrying these women, men just don't want it.
And that's exactly why I said that in this industry, I'm single until I retire.
That's not how it works. You don't get to be a hoe, and then at the end of your career of being a hoe, now you're like, okay, I want to be a good... No, that's not how it works. It doesn't work like that. I don't know. Damn, yo, my hair don't look like that. Anyways, yeah, that's not how it works, man. Like, you don't just get to be a hoe and then... You know what's sad? That is how it works, because it's gonna be some simp-ass nigga that fuck with her and pick her up, pay all her bills, have kids with her, and then defend her. Like, it's gonna be some bum-ass nigga who never got a woman in his life, and now at the end, you know what I'm saying, she's just gonna be able to pick this lame up and make him do whatever, make him believe whatever. Oh baby, you're really secure because most guys wouldn't even date me. You must be really secure. No, he's a lame.
But it will still matter.
I don't plan on doing this or getting married or finding the love of my life until I retire, like, truthfully. And then after
I hope
that
you see what happens to Nina Agdal.
No. And then after that, I will be honest and truthful with the person that I will be getting married to or whatever.
That's a terrible mindset to have. That is a terrible mindset to have. Why are you like, you're like almost sabotaging yourself? Why can't you just use your brain to get some money? Why do you have to do immoral things? Why can't you just come up with a fucking play in your mind to financially substantiate yourself? Why do you have to show your body, and then because you know you're going to be single, you're going to be single while you're doing this profession, and you're trying to say, oh well, when I'm done, no, nobody's gonna want you. Nobody except the lames are gonna want you. And I'm not talking to her us are a lot of women that think like her, that are retarded. And we need women like Candace, although I don't agree with a lot of the shit Candace does and says. We need women like Candace to put other women in check. Because if I was to say this to this woman right here in the orange, she would not listen to me. But if Candace says it, it hits a little bit different because it's coming from vagina to vagina. I said, but it's coming from vagina to vagina. You know what I'm saying? So it hit a little bit different versus if I was telling her this, she would feel like I'm just telling her what to do or I'm demanding her to, you know what I'm saying? But the fact that you can't call Candace insecure. Candace doesn't date women. So she's saying the same thing that other niggas is saying, other men are saying, yet she doesn't date women. So it's the same thing. Hold up.
And it'll be up to him to accept that, right? So,
and I'm just saying that men's natural proclivity is to not accept that because it brings them shame. Men are biologically proud creatures.
I understand, but not everybody can be like that.
No, I know. I'm not. I'm just telling you what is happening and why people are. I'm just talking about cultural events and the Agdal thing. And if you look at people like Emily Ratajkowski, she's obviously hot. But this is a woman who's now trying to make divorce chic. And I think that the understanding is in Hollywood is, sleep with her and move on. She's not marriage material. Her husband, when he had her, cheated on her because they didn't have that thing. I feel like I've slept with the girl. I've seen her naked so many times, right? So there's nothing special about Sebastian Baer marrying her because we've all seen her naked. There's nothing sacred in that relationship. And I'm just speaking on telling you, this is why women struggle to get married when they've made themselves available on OnlyFans because other men don't want to share. They don't want to share their wife. They maybe will share their girlfriend. They might think it's fun to date a stripper for a little bit. They might think, oh, this means I'm going to have sex 12 times a day. But then when it gets down to just their biological instinct, it's actually quite embarrassing for them as a man because they can look up your girl and here she is, So that's what I think is happening.
Yeah, I'm just curious about your opinion on this because
Yo, comment section, let me know, like, who y'all choosing from this lineup? Me personally, I might go orange, bro. I might go orange, or I might go white long sleeve, you know what I'm saying? Like, I might put up, you know what I'm saying, white long sleeve type shit, or I might go orange. If I'm feeling fancy, I might go orange. But if I'm feeling on some classy boss shit, I'm gonna go white long sleeve, bro. Fuck that, bro.
I've seen like a couple of people in like red pill spaces, like Pates or
Yo, I know some of y'all is down bad and y'all gonna go blue. Y'all gonna go turquoise or whoever this is all the way on the left. You're bugging. I know some of y'all down bad, knocking that down.
similar to that, talking about how they should marry a young woman. Would you agree or disagree that that might not be the most like rational course of action?
To marry a young woman? What do you mean by
Yes. That I hear a lot of men talk about how a woman inherently loses value as she gets older, and that's why that they should seek out young women.
Now that I have Chime with Spot Me, they can cover you up to $200 in between paychecks with no overdraft fees.
Well, I live in the South, and a lot of people get married young, and I think it's really beautiful and wonderful. They preserve this sort of innocence. I have people that work for me that want to get married at 22. They drop out of school. So I don't think there's anything wrong with marrying when you're young. I'd have to see the full context of what they're talking about, because I do think, obviously, the longer you wait, and especially in this society that's creating this simulation that sexuality equates to freedom when it doesn't, that what he might be suggesting is that the longer a woman runs free, the more partners that she's gathering, and her worth is being diminished. And I think that there is some veracity to that. But, you know...
Yes, absolutely, I agree, Candace. The longer a woman is single, the more bodies she run through, her value is just going plummeting. Her value is going down. The more men you deal with, the less value you have. That's how it goes for women. And let me say this. The more men who have access to you, I feel like women, as a woman, you should be curving men left and right. Like, you should be curving left and right, left and right, left and right. You should be curving, because the more you say yes, 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 now you're going down, 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 down. And nobody wants you when you're all, you know what I'm saying? You done been through 10, 15 niggas this year. Nobody wants you. Some of y'all going through 5 a month. Nobody wants you. Some of y'all going through 3 a week. Nobody wants you. Some of y'all going through 2 a day. Nobody wants you.
If it's said in a way that sounds a little crass, like seek out younger women because they're not as used, and I can see why people would be offended by it, but that might be underpinned by a little bit of logic. So I'd have to see the clip in its entirety.
Yeah, the reason why I'm asking is because in general, I think men do have a biological proclivity. I can't pronounce that word. Proclivity. To seek out like youth and beauty. But I also think when it comes to like settle down, you want a mother who's going to be responsible and good towards her children. Mm-hmm. So I think the idea that like men seek out beauty is true, but I also think men seek out a level of like responsibility and maturity that only comes with age. So I was just curious because of the other stuff I've heard from people.
It does come with age. I kind of see what she's saying. It does. When it comes to women, the maturity and the responsibility thing, it does come with age. A lot of women aren't ready to be mothers when they're super young, like, because they haven't developed yet. They're still irresponsible. They're still immature. They still believe in hot girl summer. They're still, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I kind of see what she's saying. A lot of women, when they are young, they aren't really ready for that responsibility or that adulthood. You know what I mean? Like, they still are very influenceable. You know, like they're easily influenced when they're that young. You know, you got women like Megan Thee Stallion, Glorilla, Sexy Red, all of these women who are influencing these young women who are 18, 19, 20, 21. And so it's like, how can you expect these young women who are these age, who are being influenced by these negative role models, how can you expect these women to be responsible mothers? How can you expect these women to be responsible citizens of society when they really don't know shit and they really just following these negative ass influences? You know, like these women who, because it's because of women like that, celebrities like that. That's why women like this in the orange exist. Because Sexy Red has told her, hey, be a hoe, it's okay. Glorilla has told her, hey, just use men. Don't lock one down, just use men. What's her name? Megan Thee Stallion has said, hey, pimp men, use men for their money. Don't get in a relationship with them. And these toxic influences have now created a diorama. These new influences have now created a generation of women who think it's okay to be a hoe and get married later, and that's going to ruin society. People talk about these tariffs that Trump doing. People talk about all this bullshit. This is what's going to ruin society. Women thinking I can be a hoe later and be a wife and a mom. I mean, women think I can be a hoe now and be a wife and a mom later. That's what's ruining society. No, be responsible now and then be a wife and a mom later. Okay, cool. But the whole shit has to go. You cannot be a hoe now and a mom and a wife later. It does not work like that. Nobody's going for that except for the lames.
And also, it's like, sex is just sex. Like, it's just sex. Huh? And
says the prostitute. Says the person charging for it. You're charging for it, but it's just sex.
When you have a partner, you have an emotional connection with them. And so, like, the guy on your last podcast, he was on here a few days ago, he was saying how, like, for men, sex is just sex. But, like, spending time with a woman and, like, buying her things and, like, going on trips with her is, like, different than having sex with just random people. And that's why they were, like, in an open relationship or whatever.
Can I just have you scoot your mic that way a little bit? Yeah, perfect.
I mean, I definitely wouldn't say that, like, swapping DNA is, like, just sex. I mean, a man leaves a piece of himself inside of you.
But, man, that's the way they think. And, like, for women, we get attached to them emotionally, having sex with them.
Which is why it's more of a... When women have a lot of partners, it is different. It is worse in a way, and people don't want to admit that. But because we are more emotional, there is an attachment. It isn't just sex for women. I think women are damaged by those relationships. Women like to think, because of the social simulation, that it can just be sex, it's whatever. Non-committal, the only people that benefit from that lie are men. It is not great to have sex and have a man not call you back. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't matter if a BuzzFeed article says it does. I had a wonderful weekend and this is why I had sex and didn't worry about it. You feel used, and especially, I would say, if you're not a sex worker and a man does that and never calls you back, and you don't even have money to show for it, I think it diminishes your self-worth even more than your worth to a man.
The reason why I say sex is sex is because in our line of work, we see it as transactional, right? Especially when we're working. And then at the end of the day, they go home to their wives or whatever, right? And it's like, you're emotionally being there for them.
This nigga just piped the shit out you. And now, this nigga just piped the shit out you. For a film. You know what I'm saying? He's not your nigga. You're not dating. But this nigga just rotted you out. He just, you know what I'm saying, piped you down. And now you probably thinking about him, all type of shit. Whole time, you know what I'm saying, he gone. He with his another girl probably. You know what I'm saying? He just chilling, living his life. You know what niggas do, get some pussy and then go smoke some weed, go get a drink or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? But this porn star nigga, he just drilled your shit and now he's gone. You're sitting here thinking like, damn, I have $10,000. But this porn star nigga also has $10,000 and he drilled your shit and his value has gone up. A man has, let me tell you, when it comes to pornography, filming pornography, the man, let's say both actresses get $20,000. Let's say 20,000, which is a lot. I doubt they getting that much unless you're like super, you know what I'm saying, famous or some shit. Let's say $2,000. We give the woman $2,000. We give the man $2,000, right? And they have sex and they both walk away. The man is walking away stronger, I believe, than the woman. The man is walking away. He just had sex with this beautiful woman. Let's just use this woman right here in the orange. He just had sex with this beautiful woman, and now he got $2,000, and now he's on his way. You know what I'm saying? That sounds like a W to me. No relationship. No, he didn't have to take her out on a date. Nothing. But her, she got $2,000. She got fucked. And you have no wedding ring. You have no children. You have no relationship. You didn't even get took on a date. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a loss for you, especially the more times you do it, especially even more the more different men. Because like Candace Owens said, your physical body may still look good, but your self-worth is gonna diminish the more you do that.
And taking care of them and doing all this, that, or the other.
So then sex clearly isn't just sex. It's also emotional. It can be.
Yes.
It can be, yes. But I was saying, according to the guy that he had on the last podcast, he said that for men, sex is just sex.
Well,
and that...
I disagree with
Sometimes your tracks are right there, but there's still something missing. Co-producer is going to give you unique sounds
that sex doesn't harm, or casual sex wouldn't harm a man or does harm women, or that sex is just sex. I think a lot of people tell themselves that, but I think it can like lead to a lifestyle of just like pure hedonism, whether you're like a man or a woman, and that can be like dangerous because then you're losing, sight of other things that you value or other aspects of life. So I don't really think I think for some people that can be true, but I think for the majority of people, like there's a reason why a lot of people are only into monogamy, or why.
I can't watch this shit anymore. Listen, if a podcast, a table full of women, my ears are freaking bleeding. Anyways, man, let me know in the comments what y'all think. Like, do y'all think Candace Owens is right, or do you think the girl in the orange is right? Do you think sex is just sex, and that in 20 years, in 10 years, in, in 8 years, that sex will no longer matter and that she'll just be able to get married and move on with her life? Or do you think these things will haunt her? Do you think these things will forever be in her life to the point where now she has PTSD from doing porn? You know what I'm saying? Now she's mentally fucked because she can't even go to sleep at night because she keeps thinking about getting drilled. Anyways, man, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe. Is being a hoe okay, or should women get married? I don't know. Let me know.